Cool. All right. Good shaking, folks. All right. We'll wait for at least one person to enter the chat. I mean, I just do live streams. I don't like doing videos and uploading and stuff. I just like to just go off the top of my head. No script, no nothing. Just go straight off the top of my head. That's it. That's all. All right. So we'll wait for a bit. What's going on here? Where's my... Oh. Yeah. So messy. I'm so messy over here. Gotta clean my room. Hey, we got one person. We got one fellow man, a woman. Oh, hey. No, they left. All right. That's all right. That's all right. All right. Well, we're going to wait a bit. I put the stream for 11:05. So, I'll be back. Hey. Hi. No one's coming on today, it seems. All right. Well, it is Monday. It is Monday morning. I don't expect much. Oof. I'm just doing this live stream because I got a lot of things I want to share, get it off my chest here. But a lot of things I'm seeing out there. So anyway, I'm going to get started. Hopefully more people join. If not, it's okay. They can watch the live stream later. So essentially what it means to be a Canadian here, and people like to go around claiming they're Canadian. They're proud to be Canadian, going around waving the Canadian flag, saying they're Canadian citizens and all these kinds of stuff. And I can understand. Hey, Prairie, how are you? Good morning. Good to see you. It's been a while. So yeah, people, we need, like, just so people understand too, is that I'm not trying to shit on anybody when I say this in any way. Is just I've come to understand what it means to be Canadian, the whole thing behind it, especially understanding our system of law, the history of all these things. And so once you unpack all of that and you see what it truly is, then you really don't want anything to do with it, because then you understand it's a way of enslaving ourselves is by claiming that we are Canadian, that we are Canadian citizens. And thinking that we're going to have solutions within the system here in Canada through political means is just lunacy to me, okay? And I know a lot of people out there, good folks here in Canada, although in the last 4 years, I'm not too impressed with Canadians, I'll tell you that, because I've seen a lot of nastiness, okay? A lot of nasty people out there here in Canada. And I've known this for a long time. It's just gotten worse. But here in Canada, especially when it comes to our governments, police, yeah, not much people to respect in those areas. I know there's good people within those places, but I really don't have much respect for people here in Canada that are in the police, military, government. Right now, when you see what's been happening, our government's been criminal. Okay, it's been acting very criminal. It's always been a criminal organization. Okay, it's just really shown its true colors, and see the fact that they're showing their actual true colors, and people are still standing by and doing nothing and not really trying to do anything to change anything. It's wild to see. Hey, Maria, how are you? We popping in for a quickie Sweden here. Oh, nice, from Sweden. Awesome. I gotta go visit that country, man. It's so cool looking country. The architecture and the people seem pretty cool out there. So yeah, well, thank you. Welcome to the stream. I agree. The last 4 years has been opened my eyes. Yes, I'm telling you, it's been pretty wild. And also, I've been trying to get in with the auditing community here in Canada. I'm trying to, rile up the troops, get people together. Still not getting much help here in Ottawa. I need someone to help me edit videos. That's what I need. And also, I need someone with me to go do auditing, because it's not a good idea to audit by yourself, folks. Okay, I see some people that are out there doing it by themselves. Is just not a good idea. I mean, I'm actually compared to all the auditors out there, I'm actually the only auditor that I've seen on YouTube. Again, I'm not like I'm not a consistent auditor. I just go and do whatever I catch whenever I'm out there, kind of stuff. I'm not really making a great effort to be consistent. But out of all the auditors, I got accused of filming inside the courthouse, and I was charged and so on. Okay, and I didn't get a lawyer. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say here is if you're going to go out there and audit, and you're going to get pinched by police one day, they're going to charge you with nonsense. And because they don't know the law, because if you look at True North Transparency and Ontario Audits and them, they don't know the law. Okay, folks, and I'm telling you, and I'm not trying to shit on these guys. Like I said, I went out there to support them. I went out there to show them respect, and I got spit in my face. Okay, Rick there, he's continuing with this nonsense. I tried to be the better guy here and just say, okay, let's just be cool about all this stuff and misunderstanding. But he wants to keep disparaging me. That's fine, but he doesn't know the law, and one day he's gonna get pinched. And he's going to get brought through the system. He's going to have to get a lawyer. He's going to lose probably because in our system, you're not going to win here in Canada. I'm telling you, unless you know the law. And I know it very well. I was able to defend myself without a lawyer, folks. Okay. That's what I mean. If you're going to go out there trying to tell people about rights and freedoms, but you don't understand what rights and freedoms and what it is, what law is based upon is morals, folks. Is to have morals. Is that, just because someone's being disrespectful to you, doesn't give you the right to start being disrespectful back. Okay, that's loser shit. Okay, and I'm being as affirmative as I can with this. Okay, because I'm actually at the end of my rope right now with people. If you ever listen to Mark Passio, this is one guy you got to listen to, folks. Is look up Mark Passio. I put the link in the description. What on earth is happening? This guy has been teaching people about natural universal law, explaining all these things, and trying to get people out there to be boots on the ground, be the new media. And he's getting frustrated, and I understand why. Okay, because people are not getting it. We're not getting it, and I understand there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of shit going on, and I know people are just kind of getting exposed to the freaking criminalities, and they feel like they want to do shit. But you got to get right with yourself first, folks. He talks about the one great work, which is essentially you got to know who you are. You got to get right with yourself in order for you to go out there and then start preaching to other people about what morals are. Okay? And see, that's the problem I have with TNT, True North Transparency, Ontario Audits. Actually, Ontario Audits, I think he's changed his tune lately, and I find that's good that he keeps the respect and all that stuff. That's good. But Canada Cop Watch, this shit of, oh, well, as soon as you disrespect me, respect goes out the window kind of attitude. You don't understand law, bud. You shouldn't be out there telling people about rights and freedoms because, see, that's the problem we have is that people think because, oh, you disrespected me now, so now I get to be nasty back to you. See, that's a childlike mentality. That means you're still in the schoolyard, you don't understand, and then you're going to go around saying, de-escalate to the police, but yet you're the first one to escalate as soon as someone disrespects you. That you get butthurt because, oh, well, he's telling you not to film and blah, 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 and just because the approach he used wasn't the most respectful way, now you get to be nasty back to them and all that. No, I'm sorry, you don't get to do that, okay? Because what you're doing is you're causing more fucking controversy. And that's what we're trying to eliminate, folks. We're trying to eliminate controversy and essentially bring out the olive branch and shake hands and try to, educate and not educate, but share knowledge and understand that here in Canada, we do have rights and understanding our system of law and that we do have the right to film in public. There's all these things that we're allowed to do. And by getting nasty to one another, it's not going to change anything. It's actually going to get worse. Okay. So I'm going to read it. Canada saw that vid with LGBTQ police that gave trans lift home in Toronto. Police car with rainbow painting, Swedish police and rainbow. Oh, wow. Is that right, eh? In Sweden, one got no chance, one lose no matter what law evidence, one's fucked. Yeah, well, it's like, well, in Sweden, Canada, it doesn't matter. We're all under the Holy Roman Empire, folks. Okay, so all the courts in the world, that's how they conquer us. When their armies leave, they leave the police stations, the courthouses, and the town halls and all that kind of stuff. That's how they maintain control because we're conquered people. Okay, and that's the thing I'm trying to tell people here in Canada is that when you say you're Canadian and that you're proud to be Canadian, I'm sorry, folks, don't be proud to be the product of Pharaoh, because that's what we are. We are a product, just like the United States of America is a product. We're all products here. When you say you take on titles that don't belong to you, go and sporting symbols you don't understand and they don't belong to you, like the Canadian flag. Most people don't understand what it refers to. Okay, I know this stuff. I've been doing this for years. I've been listening to people, great minds, express and share this knowledge about law and symbols, cosmology, etymology, all these things. Understanding, decoding our language essentially, because it is coded. Okay, our language is so coded, it's not even funny, folks. It's wild. And I know it's a lot to unpack, but people need to realize this stuff. And a lot of people like to look at me like I'm crazy. I know I conversate with a lot of people sometimes. I share this stuff. And some people appreciate what I'm sharing with them. And then I see other people, you can see like they're like, whoa, what the fuck this guy is, you know. So I know I'm too much for some people, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I've always been too much for people, and it's okay because I need to be. I need to be intense. I need to be out there and be intense so people get it. And I'm trying to inspire people to see how beautiful it is to learn this shit. Because I'm actually feeling frustrated because I know all this stuff and not much people do know this stuff. And then when it's so beautiful and you're trying to express these kinds of things, you're just getting frustrated because people don't get it. And sometimes they don't want to because it's too much work for them. It's too much effort. But listen, folks, you have an obligation and a duty to be morally fucking correct in life, okay? You have to have moral principles. You have to. Like this is like a must. And it's not like an opinion. These are facts. Common sense is, hey, I don't go punching people in the face. Why? Well, because I don't want people to just randomly come punch me in the face. It's just logical. You know, this is what moral principles is. The universal law is that's what it is that, well, it's universal for everyone, is that no one wants to be assaulted. No one wants to get murdered. No one wants to be stolen from. No one wants to be coerced or raped. You know, like these are things that are just common sense that you don't need a piece of paper or a constitution to be writing it down for you. Say, hey, see, well, you can't do it because look, it's written over here. If that's what you need in life, I will stay away from you because you are dangerous. Okay, and that's the fucking problem we have here in Canada is that you have a lot of dangerous people with guns, badges, pepper spray, tasers, and the power of the state to back up their fucking ignorance here in Canada. Okay, and they're called police constables. Okay, I call them stable cons. Okay, but really they're unstable. They're unstable cons right now. And just so you understand, I'm still trying to keep the peace and love in my heart towards these people. But I'll tell you, man, it's very frustrating to see them go because right now I see videos keep popping up daily. There's more and more. It's actually I thought in the last 10 years of me, you know, looking up these videos, I thought it'd be like more videos coming out of, hey, police actually holding themselves accountable and doing the right thing. But they're doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down on their nonsense. And right now, we got to treat it very seriously, folks, because, see, they're at war with us. They've declared war against us. And I'm trying to declare peace. And then the more I try to declare peace, the more warrioristic they become, it seems. The more that you try to be kind and generous and loving and honorable, the more it seems to insult them. The more they seem to be out of control because now, see, they can't do nothing with you because you're not acting belligerent. You're not being violent. You're not yelling at them, being disrespectful because they only understand that. That's the only language that they understand. When you start talking kindly, respectfully, and having eloquence in your body language and the words you use, all of a sudden now they're getting fucked because they say, fuck, I can't do nothing to this guy. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can use to bring this guy down. He doesn't bring himself down to my level, so therefore I cannot fight this guy in any way. And that's what I'm trying to share here, people, is you got to maintain that love and peace in your heart. Be affirmative. Don't be passive. Don't be aggressive. Be affirmative. Be stern and stand your ground and know this stuff. Know the stuff that you must learn about law, moral principles. Very, very important. So don't be out there saying that you're Canadian, that you're proud to be Canadian. Okay, I'm telling you, do some research what it's all about. My channel, I mean, if you look up all the people I've been following, okay, for the years that, you know, Santos Bonacci, you got Sean Ross, Mark Passio, okay, just to name a few. These are all great people you can listen to. And I know there's a lot of information that, you know, you may listen and then you're like, okay, this is not, just take some and leave some. Just take what's consistent. You'll see a lot of stuff. They may not be on the money. They may be wrong about certain things, but overall, they're right. about a lot of things, right? I don't dismiss people just because, oh, well, they're wrong about this, and that. I get information from all people. Even like CTV News, as much as I don't like that media organization, I still listen to some of the things they say. Why? Well, because I want to understand where their mindset is going, what they're saying, and be able to, decimate the lies that they're pushing out there. That's how you do things, folks. Uh, Let me just see read some comments there. How about posting drone footage? Suddenly, we're not allowed without certain permission. They're cutting our rights piece by piece, and not that obvious. Yeah, well, that's what they do. They always freaking, like creep up, take away little by little, until all of a sudden you got no rights. And that's what's happening here in Canada. Is like, see, I actually went to the truckers convoy. Right now, like, I'm sorry to say, folks, like, like I really, I don't like to feel negative about people. I really don't. Like, if there's one guy that likes to just want to encourage people, that wants to generate positive energy and good vibes, is me. Like, I genuinely like that. Even when people get stupid with me, it takes a lot for me to go and like start getting like, raise my voice and then being okay. Now you're gonna get it, and now I'm gonna tell you. Like, it takes a lot for me to get there. Okay, and that's what I'm saying is that people need to wake up to the fact that we are not free, and that we need to fight for our rights. And that, see, the truckers convoy, it all happened and stuff, and it's like, it's great that it happened, but now the aftermath, look at the people like the Couch 4, and you got Tamara Leach and Pat King in court. Where's the truckers convoy? Where's all the people that were there and, standing with, freedom? Yet we have the leaders, the people that are actually on the forefront, or claiming to be, out there. Now they're fucking in trouble, and no, I don't see much people there. Like, when I go to the Ottawa courthouse, I see very little people trying to help, and I've tried to help, but no one wants to listen. Why? Because, see, a lot of these lawyers, a lot of these people that are in the system don't want to admit that they're part of the problem. Who wants to? I mean, they spent fucking years and money, time, effort, and put even their health on the line to get an education, right? To be part of the system, to get in with the crown. And you think they want to shit on that? Of course not, man. So we got Nord Manor under attack. What does that mean, Boral? I'm not too familiar with Nord Manor. What's Nord? I guess north. So yeah, done some etymology and compared English to Swedish. Certain words get the opposite interpretation. Well, yeah, well, it's funny. Vong language is actually the closest to English, like Vong in Finnish. If you ever look up the Bach Saga, I was actually surprised. I was like, wow, okay, it's actually pretty cool. Hey, Shupru, hey, how you doing, brother? Long time no see. Good to see you. Men, Jenna, Richard. I guess that's Vong for say, hi, how are you? Rules from North. What just have to say is relevant. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Slow burner. What's this? Smoke. Blowing. What are you trying to say? I'm blowing some weed or some hot air. What's going on? We have freedom, not freedom. Freedom. Yeah, freedom. That's right. I like that. Very. Yep. The thing they choose to be ignorant, eyes wide shut. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome word. Freedom. I like that. I'm going to use that too. Slow burner. Hi, Perry. All right, cool. But yeah, like, that's the thing, folks, is like, what I was trying to say is, yeah, here in Canada, we're not free. We're actually slaves. We're bonded sureties, folks. When you understand the system of law, this is what it is. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. This is not what it's a fact, is that we're bonded sureties to a bankrupted franchise. Canada is a bankrupted franchise. Ontario is a bankrupted franchise. McDonald's, Walmart, all of them are bankrupted franchises under the only true unincorporated corporation called the Triple Crown. And now, if you look up in London, you'll see there's 110 livery companies. Okay, do some research on that. It's pretty interesting. Okay, like, you see all these livery companies, and it teaches you all the history of the guilds and how these apprenticeships, right, came to be. The whole terms of, what they call you, and when you go and be a laborer and things like that. Pretty interesting stuff. And so you understand, all corporations in the world, all bankrupted franchises, not corporations, are all under these livery companies. Okay? And you look at all the symbols and everything within, it's like within the City of London, which is a corporation, which is a city-state that's independent of England. Okay, it has nothing to do with England. It's its own freaking entity, right? So I know like a lot of people here in the chat understands this, but it's just for new people that come to my channel. It's just for them to understand this too, right? But yeah, here in Canada, we got to stop saying we're Canadian. Stop saying you're proud. You could continue if you want. I'm not telling you. I'm just sharing with you from what I know is that when you're doing so, you're saying, I'm a product, I am a slave of Pharaoh, and I am proud to be. The Canadian flag, see, with the two pillars, references to Janus, the many-faced god. And you'll see, the Arch de Triomphe. You'll see, the war memorial is the arc, which represents the threshold when they're going. Okay, so it's all referring to Janus. Okay, people need to know this stuff. The symbolism is very, very important, folks. I've been doing this for years, and I keep learning new stuff as I go. I keep humbling myself. My confidence level right now is actually growing high because I'm actually getting to that level where I allow. Whereas for a long time, because I'm learning all this stuff, my confidence went down, man, because that's what you're supposed to do is humble yourself and understand, holy shit, I got a lot of stuff to learn. I need to humble myself, get right with who I am, know who I am in all this world, and how the Holy Roman Empire sees me, how the system of law, how my government actually sees me on paper in order for me to fight this fight. Because I see a lot of people out there. I appreciate them. They got courage. They're out there. They're trying, but it's not enough, folks. You got to know who you are in this world, and you got to be who you are in this world, and then shine that and put it out there. Like, I don't want to be doing this, folks. I don't want to be doing this. Okay? Like, seriously, I'm not looking for human attention. Okay? The most sought out commodity in the world is human attention. I don't want it. Okay? I'm telling you, I'm trying to get other people to work on themselves, inspire them to do the same, and then we can work together because strength in numbers, just like the fascist government that we're under, when you see the two pillars of the two fascists on each side in the United States telling you it's the Holy Roman Empire, and then where we go one, we go all, it's all about strength in numbers. Is that when you have more people standing together and understanding and knowing who they are, you're going to kick ass, folks. Just like the 300, the 300 Spartans, 300 of them were able to fight 1 million men in a slave army. That's the difference. See, that's the whole allegory. That's the whole symbolism behind the movie of 300 is showing how 300 men that are ready to die for what they know is right, not believe, what they know is right. They're ready to die for the man to the right, to the left, to the front, to the back of them, that they're going to fucking die for them. Those people are going to fucking kick ass compared to a slave army that doesn't want to fight. That's not ready to die for their king, for their country and what they believe in. They don't even believe in it. They're just doing it because they're doing it because of the crack of the whip. Okay? And see, that's what we have here in Canada, is that we have people moving because of the crack of the whip. Okay? Police constables are the most enslaved people in the fucking world, folks. So how is it that they're going to understand, serve, and protect you and recognize and protect your God-given, inalienable rights and freedoms? Explain that to me. When they have no idea what that means. Okay, they're very symbols, the very uniform that they show up with on scene expresses slavery. Okay, and that they're proud to continue to enforce this fucking system of slavery, folks. That's why, I still respect them as human beings, but as their choice and profession, I don't respect it because I know what they're part of, folks. And that's what I'm trying to do. And see, when you look at Mark Passio, he's telling people, be boots on the ground, be out there, reach out to our brothers and sisters because they're the most enslaved people are the constables. Okay, these people need us to reach out like a brother. And if they don't understand the brotherly love that comes from your heart and all that stuff, then you could get a little bit more stern and more affirmative and say, well, listen, bud, now you're going to get the demons soon. We're trying to reach out to you, trying to reason with you, with your humanity, if there's any left in you, if they haven't beaten it out of you. Because see, when you go to their training, when you go into that environment, that's what they do. They beat fucking humanity out of you. Just like when you become a lawyer or a doctor, when you go to university, it's a form of brainwashing, folks. They put you through extreme ways of doing things, of like educating you, where you're not taking care of your health, you're not getting the right sleep, you're stressed the fuck out. And see, now your human attention now is only focused on all that nonsense, and that's how they enslave you. That's why I keep telling people, you need to know this. Human attention, most sought out commodity. Most people don't even know this. And it should be taught in school. As a child, you should be taught human attention, how important it is to understand how to protect it, understand that your conscience is very important, that your freedom of conscience, anyone that messes with that they need to be held to account and be told, hey, man, you don't get the right to come and tell me I'm doing something wrong without providing evidence, because that's not fair to me. You're telling me I'm doing something wrong without showing me what I'm doing wrong. How is that fair to me? I want to correct myself. I'm an honorable man. Show me the evidence. But see, that's what happens here in Canada. They're telling you, oh, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you say, okay, well, where's the injured party? Who got hurt with my actions? Well, it's not how it works. The statute. Oh, so you need a piece of paper, but still, that piece of paper is not proving anything. It's wild, folks. Sorry, I just got to check this because I'm on call today. I got to help some people with stuff. Oh, okay. No, we're good. All right, we're good. So yeah, essentially, the points I'm trying to put out here is know what it means to be a Canadian. Understand that it's a bankrupted franchise. So, do you want to be part of a bankrupted franchise? You're in debt. You're enslaved. That's what it is. So, when you go out there saying I'm Canadian, I'm proud, that's what you're saying to a guy that knows what's up. That's what you're saying, and that's the truth. That's the fact. Like, it's not my opinion. I wish it wasn't so, because I grew up. I'm Canadian. I love this country. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great things about being Canadian. But once you look into it and understand that, yeah, Canada, sorry, guys, like, we're the biggest hypocrites in the world with being nice. Nice just means you're a hypocrite. You're a fucking two-faced. That's what it means. There's a difference between nice and being kind, respectful, and loving. Big fucking difference. I'm just going to read some more comments there. Puff pass. Yes, I will be smoking that later on. I got to be driving today, so I can't be doing that till later. But yeah, and it's more worse than that. The earth is governed and controlled by the owner of this world. Yeah, well, essentially, the people that claim ownership over this world is the Holy Roman Empire, all the way in Switzerland, the Vatican, all these people, and all the corporations that you see. When people talk about BlackRock, Circle, all these big corporations that they're all under the crown, folks. Okay, they're all owned and operated by the crown. Everything that you do in this world. Remember that lawyers is what permeates all aspects of our lives. Is the law. That subject, you need to learn it, because it's the subject that most people know the least about, but you should know the most about. It's like when you go to court and things like that, you shouldn't be getting lawyers. Okay, you should be able to defend yourself, especially if you're getting charged with bullshit. It should be so easy to defend yourself when you hold truth, folks. It's just not that hard. But see, we got corrupt judges, corrupt crown attorneys, corrupt constables. It's not because I don't think it's really because they want to be corrupt as much as they're just ignorant and they've been lied to, and then they're pushing the system because, well, look, man, when you put in years and years and time, effort, resources into a career, it's a hard fucking pill to swallow to admit to yourself that, holy shit, I'm part of the problem here, right? And that's the problem with a lot of people, is that we don't have much integrity. They've done a great job here in Canada specifically to raise people to not think much of themselves. And I know, okay, I used to be one of them, okay? I used to not have much confidence, and I didn't really think much because, I didn't know much. I used to work, do things. I went from job to job. I ended up going to the penitentiary when I was 20 years old. Got out of there, and fuck, man, I was every year just going different job, because guess what? I was the kind of guy that I didn't take shit from no one. But I didn't know how to articulate it. I didn't know how to defend myself against, bad management and bad companies that just try to take as much as they can from you and give back the very bare minimum wage, giving, and then asking you to work overtime. And then when you say, hey, listen, I don't want to, I got other things to do. And then they make you feel guilty because you're refusing overtime. So, well, it's my right. I don't have to. Like, there's no law. There's a law that protects me saying I don't have to do overtime. But yeah, here you are trying to guilt me into it and telling me that I may be fired because I don't want to do overtime, infringing on my rights, like nonstop. And like it just used to fucking piss me off because I'm such a great worker. I try to generate good energy when I come to work. I say hi to everybody. I don't hate anybody. Even if I have a problem with someone, I'll still be polite to them. Because that's important, folks, is to have integrity and be kind all the time. Because then it's you that's get affected. If you're angry with every time you see someone come into the scene, then you're giving them so much power over you to put you in a bad mood. and then to change who you truly are. That's not smart. But that, unfortunately, you have a lot of people like that out there. Just to show you, the other day I go to the LCBO downtown to get some wine from my mom. She likes her Grand Sud or a nice Merlot. And so I go and I asked the lady in the LCBO, I said, I think I'm blind because I couldn't find the bottle. It's so easy to find because it's yellow and blue. Out of all the French wines, it's the only one that's yellow and blue. It's freaking comes out. But see what they do? They put it at the very bottom shelf in the corner hidden, but it was sold out. So I wasn't blind. So she's like laughing and she said, okay, well, I'll find out where there is some. So she sends me to the one on Montreal Road. So I get there and I'm looking for it. And again, I can't fucking find it. So I'm saying I must be blind again. But then I go to this lady and she seems to be having a bad day because I would come up to her and say, hey, how are you? She said, good. And she's like this older lady, whatever. And so giving me attitude, whatever. So I'm like, I said, do you have any Grand Sud? And she's like, well, which one, Merlot or Chardonnay? I'm like, oh, I'm not too sure. She's like, well, I can't help you if you don't know which one. This is how she talks to me. I'm like looking at her, I'm smiling. So I'm like, okay, she's not having a good day. So she walks with me, goes towards, to see where the wine is. And then she can't find it herself. And then I asked her, I said, you don't seem to be having a good day. She's like, no, today is pretty bad. No, I can tell. And then boom, from that, you should have seen how her attitude changed because I was being super kind. I didn't change who I was. I didn't get, why are you being disrespectful? I understood she's probably having a bad day. And the whole time was that the freaking computers were giving her a hard time. And I understand because I don't have patience with computers. So anyway, I just kind of said to her, hey, well, thank you for your help. I wish you all the best. Great day. And she was super nice, super kind. Like I helped her kind of realize something and then put her in a good mood. Like I didn't put her, I just helped her, inspired her to like, hey, like, we're not your problem here. Be kind. And then when you respond with kindness, you see how magical it is. People will be like, oh, fuck, they changed their ways compared to giving him shit. Well, why you give me attitude? Then you start doing it, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a controversy, right? So that's why it's important, folks. You got to be kind always. If you got peace and love in your heart, share that with people, even the ones that are worst off. Those are the most people that need it the most. Okay? So... But yeah, that's the thing, folks. You gotta really look up Mark Passio. You gotta lately he does live streams and he's pissed, and he's like, really like, I guess he's at the end of his rope. He's been doing this for 17 years, and he sees that things are getting worse and worse and worse. Like they're not even actually getting better, and he's trying to work with people. And it's like I understand where he's coming from, because like, look, man, like it's crunch time, folks. Like we're in trouble. Okay, like this talk of World War III is everywhere now. Right now, the economy is changing. It's shifting. Like people need to realize, like, the BRICS nations is taking over. Saudi Arabia right now does not take on the petrodollar anymore. You know what that means on a financial level, but also on the military level, that this could cause huge fucking problems in the world, folks. I'm telling you. My Uncle Paul, he's been dealing with Switzerland for a long time, telling us they're trying to make a peaceful transition and all that kind of stuff. I hope, in my heart, I really want it to be the case, folks. I really do. But with all the evidence I'm seeing, it's, especially with all the mass, like medical procedures that were like essentially pushed upon us in the last 4 years. Right now, you're seeing a lot of people who seem to be dying and getting sick and things like that. And then, there's a lot of talk of like our population is going to be dropping significantly. So if that happens, what's going to be left? The ones that didn't fall for it? Well, I guess that's a good thing, but in a sense, no. Like, I mean, we're going to be stuck cleaning up a lot of the mess here, okay? And that's why it's important to get right with your morals, your principles, understanding who you are, and be embodying all this stuff and learning the law, folks. I'm telling you, just learn the fucking law, man. I'm telling you, learn it. Land, air, and water. Understand your relationship, your conscience, right? And the land, air, and water, right? Your conscience is what creates the patterns that you can make with the land, air, and water. That's why we have material and patterns. Ma and Pa, listen to them. Okay? Respect them always. Because that's the thing, is that you want to be the best that you can be in this world right now. Because I'm telling you, if you're not, you're not going to make it. I'm telling you, you're going to have problems. You're going to be faced with challenges that you're not going to be able to overcome. I'm telling you. And the only way we can do this kind of stuff is we got to try to do it with communication, by being brotherly and sisterly to one another. If you look at the first article of the UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, It's just like, I don't like going from their constitution. I just draw from there because it expresses some of natural law, but it talks about that we should always treat each other like a brotherhood. Always. And when someone's being disrespectful and being irate and being fucking nasty to you, it's up to you to maintain the peace and love in your heart, to show strength and fortitude, and then not bring yourself to their level and then try to bring them up to your level. Okay? Don't look down on them to look down on them and just condescend, but look down on them to bring, offer your hand and bring them up to your level. That's what we need, folks. We need to be warriors like that. Jesus, the teachings of Jesus and things like that, as much as a lot of people will contest that he did exist, he didn't exist. What's important is the message, folks. Okay? What happened 2,000 fucking years ago? Well, listen, it's irrelevant at this point. But hey, at least we've been able to maintain a lot of these things in books and be able to learn from it and then try to inspire people to express those natural universal laws. Because that's what Jesus and kings and stuff like that, that's why they were praised and looked up to, is that they were expressing the natural ways of life in the best, most beautiful way. That, oh my God, this guy is able to do this, bring people together. We'll be able to build a civilization, roads, make it easy for people to trade and have a responsible relationship with one another. Hey, this guy is awesome. Yeah, he needs to be the head and guide us with our conscience, because that's what the crown represents, is consciousness, is your crown chakra. Essentially, when you look at the Taurus fields, right, what they call it, the Bible is a book of two bulls, which is your Taurus fields, your two things. It creates the funnel and your energetic property, and that's what you are. And that's what you're expressing, and that's what you need to understand and realize what you are, folks. So I'm just going to read some more comments. Sorry, I know I talk a lot sometimes. Oh, wait. We are indoctrinated big time. Which children are disappearing in mass? In Sweden, several thousands Chinese children disappeared without a trace. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, people fucking need to realize, like, there's a lot of bad, nasty things happening. 40 degrees in Toronto. Really, eh? Wow. Slower. That's crazy. I know it's pretty hot here in Ottawa too, so there's going to be a big heat wave. Imagine being on a bus with a bunch of people who won't wear deodorant. Oh, I don't wear deodorant, but I don't smell bad because it's been years I don't wear it. So yeah, but I know what you mean, because some people, it's just the foods and the things that they eat, they're just, and it's just like, don't smell too good. Don't smell too good. What influence do Charles got a Canadian affair as king? Yeah, well, he's in everything, because he's a representative of the crown. Oh, geez, already don't think we've cracked the 25 degrees here yet. With Somalians, their diet is different. Yes. I grew up with Somalians and Somalis, good people, but you're right. When it comes to hygiene, it's some of them don't have the same as we do. Hugs from Ottawa. Hey, Sneezer. I hope I'm saying that right. People are stressed out. Yes, freaking right they are. Thanks, Jess. Got to get back to work. We'll check rest of the stream later. Sounds good, brother. Good to see you, man. These things only appear to be getting worse to those with faith. It will continue until faith is justified. It's just you time. It's to give you time to find it. Yeah. Well, I know, like, there's a lot of things, like, more people are like waking up, but at the same time, it just seems that as much as a lot of people are waking up, other people are just going the opposite direction, like doubling down. There's a brilliance in all things, even in which is to balance bad from good. Absolutely, man. The leaders are our problem. Oh yes, big time. That's the thing, is like they're not expressing natural universal law. They don't know anything about it. They don't even know who they are. They're just a product. They're told what to do. And that's the thing too, like, people need to understand, is that a lot of these people, I think, that are leaders, even like actors and things like that, I seriously believe and know this to be true, is that they're under a massive fucking mind control. When you look at MK Ultra, things like that, they're human attention. They're out there. They're not even conscious. And that's the thing. Like, they're getting us to hate people that are really not responsible, because they're actually, it's like, imagine you're like, someone takes over your body, that your conscience has been put aside, and then boom, and that's who they are. Imagine being that man or woman and getting all this hatred towards you, where you're not even in control of your own body, that someone else is using your image to go and cause this, and then people having hatred towards you. Imagine That would suck. And I feel bad for those people if that's the case. You know, when you look at who Biden is, you think Biden that's the real Biden. Same thing with Trump. You think that's Trump? Like a lot of times you see that they're not the same people. Like it seems that they're not the same people sometimes. Like you're like, holy shit, they're like there's something different. Like, you know, you can see what the masks and things like that. Like I'm telling you guys, we're being played on such a level it's not even funny. And like I don't like to go into these conspiracies and things like that because I know a lot of people tend to like, you know, stray away from that because it's kind of scary to think of. But I mean, it's the facts, folks, is that these people, they'll do a lot of things to get people's human attention. That's the thing, man, is that they're trying to corrupt it more than anything. What they're trying to do with your attention is subvert, convert, and pervert it. Okay? And that's essentially what they're doing through the law. Law, they're not upholding and respecting law and expressing law. They're actually subverting, converting, and perverting it. That's what they're doing all the time. It's always flipped on its head. It's always the opposite of, you know, they're telling you something, but it's the total opposite. It's crazy. And it's like, I don't understand how humanity has gotten to this point that we've allowed ourselves to get our human attention to be so corrupted like that. I'm trying to understand, like, is it really that our human attention is that frail that we were that easily freaking manipulated? Or are they really that intelligent that they've been able to really find a system, a method to really mind fuck us to the level that we're at right now? That's what I'm wondering. Hey, what's important is the message. Absolutely, the message is like, you know, in anything that's like, that's why I don't shit on religions and things like that. When people, you know, they want to believe in Jesus and things like that, you know, I never try to, like, as much as I find it ridiculous because I know what's up, I understand where they're coming from, and I'll always try to share the knowledge with them to help them understand that I'm complementing the religion, not trying to take away from it. I'm trying to help them feel and understand a deeper sense of what they're trying to share, that they can actually not just, go on faith, well, and that's it, that's all I have. No, here's the evidence as to what that means, why this, you know, all these kinds of things, and then go into a deeper sense, and now you can express it better so people can actually say, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, and now it stays with them more, and they have more confidence with it. Whereas a lot of people I'm talking with people that are very fanatical when it comes to Jesus and their Christianity and stuff, and it's like just asking them very simple questions. You know, well, the Bible said that. I say, okay, well, what does the Bible mean? And you see, like, all of a sudden they're like, well, look, you're taking from a book. It's called the Bible, but yet you don't know what Bible means. The meaning of that word. That word is a way of embodying what that book represents. Yet you don't know what that simple word is, but you're going to go in and take references and, you know, from the Bible and start quoting from it, but you don't even know what the word Bible means. You know, and it's wild because if you're going to go around preaching that this is the word of God in a book, you better know your fucking material. That's all I got to tell you. You got to know your etymology. You got to know your symbolism. Okay. You got to know these things. Learn your cosmology, learn all the religions. Why wouldn't you learn all the religions? Like, for me to go and be, I'm going to be Christians and not even consider the Jewish and the Muslim and the Buddhist faith and all these kind of stuff is ridiculous. Because, like, well, it's good to learn all of them so you can actually compare it to say, well, hey, which one is the better religion, right? How am I going to tell you, well, my religion is better than yours, or my religion is the only way, when I don't even know anything about the other religion, right? It's like I used to sell cars. I used to be a sales guy. And if I didn't understand my competition, the product of my competition, how am I going to influence people to want to buy my product? I got to know my competition is what I'm up against. Is like, well, they're going to bring up an argument. Well, the Honda, well, you know, I'm going to buy a Honda instead of a Nissan because for whatever reason. Well, hey, this is why you want to buy a Nissan. Nissan, you got the Japanese engineering with the European styling. You know, when you look at Japanese styling, it's not as nice as the Europeans. The Europeans got really nice styling. But then you got the Japanese engineering in there, which is easy for you to do the work on, right? And then also, it's like, these are things that you can add, and then boom, and people, oh, yeah, I never thought of that. And then say, oh, also, Nissan, we have more demographics. We actually have more to offer when it comes to our cars. Honda, they have the sedan, they got this. They have very, very limited for demographics for whatever needs you want. Well, we got the Versa, we got the Sentra, we got the Ultima, we got the Maxima, we got the Murano, we got, you know, boom, 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 you're going on. And it's like, now you know what you're talking about and you know your competition. So therefore, people say, "Holy fuck, this guy's knowledgeable," and now you can make a better decision. And that's the thing, folks. You got to see what other people are saying too. You cannot just be in your own world thinking that, oh, well, what I'm thinking is 100% and that's it. And then boom, anytime someone comes around and challenges your ideas and what you believe in, now all of a sudden you get frustrated. Now you're not going to really get your message out there. That's for sure. So anyway, so yeah, like I just want to do this live stream real quick. And just so you guys know, I don't do videos because I don't like to like script or doing it. I just like to be, boom. Like I'm on spur of the moment. Boom, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you what I feel, what's going on inside of me. I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to do these live streams like that. And that's how I do it. I know it's like short notice, whatever, but I see that a lot of people tend to watch my live streams later. I go check the comments. I apologize if I don't answer to all the comments. I try, but yeah, it does take a lot of time sometimes to well, reading them is not so bad, but it's just to respond to all of them. Sometimes I want to say things and I'm like, I can't even think of what I want to say. And I'm like, okay, never mind. We'll come back to it later. So the other thing I want to say, what's the other stuff I want to share with you is the Bible becomes far more clear if you only read the New Testament, using the Old Testament only to verify. Yeah, well, the Old Testament and New Testament, it seems that there's a lot of controversy. They're saying that the New Testament is actually older than the Old Testament, but I don't know. Like I'm still kind of looking into that. But essentially, the Bible is just a way of expressing natural universal law. It's all allegories. It's not really meant to be taken literal, by what I've understood. It's actually more symbolic than anything. And you'll see, like when you start doing like the coding and stuff like that with gematria and things like that, you start seeing how deep it goes. Really, it's actually very deep. The Bible. I appreciate the book. I've read it when I was in the penitentiary. I didn't really understand it as much as I do now. But yeah, like it's a great book to read. I got it, the book there, the Catholic version there of it, with the expression of the Pentateuch and all that stuff. And when you understand too that all religions, like we look at the Jewish religion compared to the Christians and the Catholics, well, they have the Torah and the Talmud and the Tanakh to interpret the Kabbalah, and we have the Pentateuch, which is the same thing. It's all based on the Kabbalah, folks. It's all about the tree of life, the Kabbalah, the Sephiroth, and all that stuff. If you look up tarot cards and things like that, that's essentially like the original way of expressing the natural laws, understanding nature, the seasons, your conscience, and all that stuff, the archetypes, all that kind of stuff, right? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. But a lot of people like to corrupt it and then make it look bad and whatever, and then people get turned off, or they get swayed into the literal part of it and going into, you're trying to tell me if I just believe in Jesus and then that everything will be okay. It's like, no, it takes more than that. There's work to do, folks. You don't just have to believe in something and then boom, you're okay. It's just not how it works. Okay. You got work to do. You got to work it. You got to express it and embody it. And that's how you reach the kingdom of heaven, is having peace of mind, folks, is that when you have moral principles and you understand universal natural law, that what's important to you is important to your fellow man and things like that. Now you're able to exercise good conscience and have less problems in the world. But see, right now, the Bible and all this stuff, people are not interpreting that way, because if they were, we'd have peace in the world. We would have it. But see, like now we got wars in Ukraine, war in Israel and Palestine, because people are misinterpreting all this message, that people are claiming that they're God's chosen people and that they get to rule and reign over us, just like King Charles and the Pope and the black nobility and all these people, through the Unum Sanctum and then the Setrica V and all these freaking trusts that they put in place, that they're making these claims. Like anybody that tells me that they're a God's chosen people and that they have the right to go and do bad things because they were chosen by God, that to me is racism. It's prejudice. Essentially, you are condescending and you are an elitist, someone that should not be respected. You should be told, hey, dude, it's not how it works. We're all God's children. We're all the Almighty Creator's expression here. We all have the rights and freedoms, okay? Just because you say that you're part of a faction or a religious belief, that now you have special rights. It's not how it works, folks. Just like what's happening right now with the LMNOP movement there, okay? I don't call it the other one. I just call it LMNOP. Like right now, they're granted special rights, and see how people are hating them now. There's more hatred towards them now than there was before this movement came along. And it's just to show you that's what they do. They try to use these groups of people that their human attention has been corrupted, that they don't think much of themselves, that they think that their identity is sexual, that their sexual preferences makes up their identity, which that's a fallacy, folks. If you think that your identity is based on your sexuality, you're lost. Okay? Because that's not who you are. Yeah, it's part of who you are, but it's not who you are. And if someone comes around and challenges that, and then all of a sudden you're going to turn into this monster and start trying to take away people's rights because you feel offended because people are not respecting your titles that you want people to call you, I have a problem with that. See, right now, you even see what's happened there because these kids were probably on the scooter or whatever, and there's skid marks on the freaking rainbow flag on the crosswalk. They're being charged, and like I don't know if they got sentenced to 10 years or not. But this is crazy, folks. Does that not going to generate more hatred towards this movement? Of course it is. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to close this. Oh, my God. These guys. All week last week, man, I've been hearing they've been, I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't take, it's been like 4 days they've been passing their freaking lawnmowers and their freaking weed whackers in this neighborhood, man. Every morning I'm being woken up by these freaking guys, man. I'm like, what the heck, man? You guys just freaking did this last week, 3 days in a row, and now you're still doing it. It's Monday. It's just, I guess they got nothing else to do, and they got to get paid, I guess, and look busy. I don't know. That's Ottawa housing for you. So, yeah. Let me just read some comments here. Basically, impossible to alter, not quite close. I'm into the Sumerians. Yeah, well, a lot of great knowledge from Sumeria for sure, man. Cleaning is the cradle of civilization, but who knows? The tale of human love and the idea of unconditional love that God is. Well, exactly. That's the thing. Is like there shouldn't be no conditions on your love, and that's the thing. A lot of love today is conditional. It's like, oh well, I'm gonna do this on condition, you know. Whereas when you have children, I don't have children yet, but by what I see is that's true unconditional love. Is that you'll love your children no matter what. You know, you ever see, you see mothers and fathers while their children turn into bad people, rapists, murderers, whatever, but they still love them. That's unconditional, right? It's like at the same time, I understand like you could like be like upset with them because you know they fucked up in life and it's horrible what they've done, but you still love them. Whereas like let's say you're married to them, well, there's conditions, right? Oh wow, well now you're a rapist. Well now I don't love you anymore, right? Whereas no, you should still maintain love because see what it is when someone becomes bad like that goes around raping and killing and hurting people and stuff is because they're suffering. They're suffering inside, and that's the thing is that they need more love. They need appreciation. They need to be shown. They went through childlike trauma or whatever has gone through their life, and now it's corrupted them and thinking that life is out to get them. So now it's okay for them to get at life. Well, now what do they need? They don't need more fucking beat downs and whatever. They need love. It's funny. Like I watched this guy. I'm trying to remember. He's like a guy who went to the prison and stuff, and he puts up this video about like this guy was a chomo. Okay, that's a term they use as chomo instead of a child molester. So he said, he's a chomo. He went in jail, and then boom, like 20 gang members, raped him. Okay, and like you see the photo, like it's sad to watch, man. Like you don't want to see anybody like. I don't care if you've done that to a child, like as much as I fucking hate that, like that. I'm like, I don't think that they deserve to go through something like that because that's not going to help them. Okay, what they need to be shown is how wrong that is, and then shown love and shown appreciation, so therefore they can understand. Okay, look, I like that. Okay, to come back to reality, to come back to the love. There's a place in Africa. I remember seeing this meme. I don't know if it's true or not, but I remember this on Facebook where there was a meme saying about like, in Africa, when someone commits a crime or whatever, what they do is that they surround them and then they hug them and show them love and things like that. Well, that's beautiful, man. And that's showing strength and expressing natural universal law and love when you're able to essentially like, hey, man, understand that man or woman, as much as it's vile what they've done, to maintain the love and peace in your heart and to reach out to them and show them that, hey, we still love you. We know you fucked up and it's horrible what you've done and you're going to have to answer for it, but we still love you. We still got love and care for you because that's what they need. That's what you need, man. You don't want, when you fuck up in life, you want your parents to come at you because you spilt milk and then start disowning you for a week. You think that's gonna help the situation? No, you're gonna grow up with trauma, saying, "Oh my God, like I can't be spilling milk. I can't." You're gonna be living in a state of fear all the time, and that's the thing. That's the problem. Is when you put people in a state of fear, they act out that way. They cause problems. They become violent. They become not right with who they are. All that matters is love and time. Yeah, time heals too. So yeah, time allows for understanding. Exactly, and that's the thing. You got to be kind to yourself. You got to give yourself time. That sometimes these traumas happen. You got to say, okay, take yourself out of the equation and sit down, meditate, get get right with your thought, with your human attention, clear out all the negative thoughts. It's funny. I heard someone say the other day, and I like that. She said to me, "Never trust a negative thought." And that's awesome. I like that. Never trust a negative thought. So anytime you have negative thoughts in your mind and you feel like you're going to go, don't trust it. Don't trust that. Don't go with it. Don't flow with it. Flip it. Go the opposite direction. Say, oh, okay, I'm going to go. I'm feeling hatred. I'm feeling, okay, no. I'm going to start feeling love. So I start watching videos on puppies and kittens and animals doing funny things and, and trying to find stand-up comedians and things like that. That's the way to go. That's how you flip things. Because now if you go with these negative thoughts, that's when it brings you to the violence and the apathy and all that bullshit. And that's what they're trying to do these days. When you look at our governments, look what's happening, folks. They're trying to push you towards apathy. And that's what we're seeing today. You see the apathy? People are dying. People are fucking dying. People have gone. Their rights and freedoms have been stripped. They've been attacked. Hey, in the last 4 years, the shit I've gone through, not fun, guys. If it would have been anyone else, I think it would have lost their shit, okay? And the apathy I've got from friends and family is crazy. But I understand. I understand where it comes from. I'm not upset with them. I don't hate them. I don't, I am disappointed, but at the same time, I still love and care. And I understand where they're coming from. It's, and that's why I do these videos. That's why it's therapeutic for me. But at the same time is that I feel that I have quite a bit of knowledge and I don't want to be selfish with it. If I can inspire people and be out there to, help people realize and understand certain things, I'll do it. I don't want to get paid for it. I'm not doing it for money or nothing like that. Or like I said, I'm not trying to be popular here. Like I said, I really don't want to be doing this. There was a time where growing up, I wanted to be an actor, an entertainer. I went and got scouted. I went to agencies and things like that. I was supposed to go to Vancouver. I got scouted by Lisbel Models in Vancouver, and they wanted me to go and, be a model in Vancouver and things like that. And I didn't go because of, I was in love with this woman and I didn't want to go to Vancouver. I said, well, fuck, I don't need to go there. Why can't I just stay in Ottawa or maybe go to Toronto or something, And so I didn't follow it. And it's a good thing because I see Hollywood now. I could have made it to Hollywood. I could have done a lot of people call me Hollywood because they say I'm a good looking guy. I talk well. I'm funny. I got all these things. But I'm happy I didn't because look what Hollywood is. It's a cesspool. It's filled with fucking, bad people. It's as you can see it today, it's all coming to light. People are realizing, holy shit, Hollywood is corrupt as shit, man. It's fucked. It's not a good place. A lot of these people you don't want to respect and you don't want to be, friends with some of these people. Look at The Rock. It's funny. I used to be a big fan. I used to watch wrestling back when I was younger and stuff. And The Rock was, the guy, and Steve Austin, the whole rival thing. And I was like, oh man, The Rock, and they started making movies. Like, oh, right, that guy's awesome stuff. And look, all the shit's come out about him. It's like, fuck. It's like, see what happens when you start, cult of personality. That's why you don't want to like people to the point where now if negative things come out about them, that now all of a sudden you're going to fight for them. Don't do that. Same thing with Trump. When you see all these people right now still supporting Trump. Look, I used to support him when he came on the scene, man. I fell for it. The reason why is because my uncle was talking about all these things. He's going to come in. I was like, oh, all right, cool. And I was skeptical, but I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it, man. Like, let's be positive about it. Let's give it a go. Maybe he is going to change things, and he's saying all the right things right now. But I still had it in the back of my mind. I said, well, I could be disappointed. See, when he disappointed me, my world didn't fall apart. I'm still, kicking and screaming, being out there and whatever. And now, yeah, okay, got to know who he is. He's not our friend. And a lot of people like to say that, oh, this is all just a movie, just playing a thing. I don't fucking believe that. And if that's the case, I have less respect, because if you're thinking that it's okay to go around thinking this is a movie, putting a guy like Biden in the White House to cause all this turmoil for people to get what's going on, and have how many people have died from this? How many people have had a bad fucking ride because of all this stuff? I don't respect it. The best thing would have been to just come out and be truthful, man, and just boom, lay down the freaking cards. And then essentially Trump, if he really was our friend, he'd be telling all of his supporters to learn the law and understand how corrupt it is, our system of law, how it is. And see this whole trial thing, whatever that had happened in New York, whatever, it's not even close to exposing the true criminality of our system, folks. It's not even close. Okay. And so people understand, Trump suspended the Constitution. Okay. So how is it that Trump's going to help us when he suspends the Constitution and gives all the powers to FEMA? And when you look at Biden, well, that's not Biden. Right now, who's in control of the United States? Who's the president? Fuck, who knows? But it's not Biden. He's not in control of anything. Okay. Do you think someone that walks the way he does, talks the way he does, is in control of anything? Come on. And all the people that protect him and support, and all the people that are essentially, supporting Trump, that don't realize what Biden is and what Trump is, I have no hope. I really don't have no hope for these people, because see, they have the cult of personality. They oh, well, Trump, yeah, this, well, it's all good that he pushed out the warp speed and all that kind of nonsense, and put it's all just, it's just a show. He had to do that so to show how criminal it was. No, he didn't have to do that. He could have done other things to show how criminal it was. He could have just came out and said it, and his supporters would have said, hey, because they seem to be on board with anything he says, so why not just go with it, right? So, anyways, folks, you got. I want to be out there. I want to be doing auditing right now. I thought I had someone that was going to help me. I had Chris Dacey from Dacey Media, but it seems, I don't know. It's hard to try to get people together here in Ottawa. I have some people that have offered me help from like the UK and Australia. They've offered me help, and I feel bad to not be able to take them up on their help, because they're so far away. Like it's not going to work, right? I need to be with someone, like, boots on the ground, have a backup, someone, hold the camera or be there, just so when you have numbers. If the more people I have, if I could actually have a team of at least 3 or 4 people to go on the streets with me, reach out, talk to even protesters, the people that are like essentially are pro-Palestine and pro-Israel and stuff, to go and reach out to let them know, hey, you guys, you need to stop fighting each other. The main enemy you guys have is your government, okay? The government, your fanatical government, just like here in Canada and the US, all over the world. The enemy of the people right now are the people in government, okay? And as much as they're really not the full spectrum, because essentially they're just puppets, they are the problem. And by getting to them and then finding out who is pulling their strings, that's how we're going to find who the real problem in the world is. And I'll give you a hint, folks. I know I say it a lot, but it's all in Switzerland, folks. Liechtenstein and Switzerland, those places, okay? The pharaonic fucking dynasties, they're all there. That's the source of our problem. And we need to essentially abolish the WHO. The UN's got to go, okay? The crown, well, that's definitely something that needs to go, folks, okay? We need to reestablish a system of we the people, is for the people, by the people, that all the resources of our land goes to us, the people, before any corporation. That corporations from other countries cannot come here, pollute the shit, mine, whatever, and then leave a mess and not clean up after themselves. That this shit's got to stop, okay? Because they're perverting the land, air, and water, the law, day in and day out. The Holy Roman Empire, that's what they do, is that they create these fictions to hide behind, to absolve themselves. Like, oh, well, it's not us. Look, it's the fiction. Look, it's the corporation. Me as the man, yeah, I did all the action. I signed off on all the things and whatever, but it's really under this corporation. So you can't hold me personally accountable. You got to hold the corporation. Yeah, that bullshit. You got to take that mask off and say, no, you are the man behind the mask, and therefore we will hold you accountable. And see, that's what we need to understand, is also who you are is when you go to court. That's what they're doing. They're putting a mask on you, masking who you truly are to incorporate you and then make you part of their system, part of the crown. And now they're going to tell you what you can and can't do, like a slave. And that's what's happening. It's like, just think of it symbolically, folks. When you're born, your parents, your mom, she births you through her canal, right? Through her matrix. You come into this world. So that's manifestation. So now it's saying, hey, man, that you are essentially born. You're into this world now. You're alive. But now when you get the birth certificate, now that's a claim of saying that your conscience is not embodying your vessel, your body that is empty. That your vessel is empty, that your conscience is that now the government is going to be your conscience now. And that you're considered dead, a decedent, that you're dead and never been alive. And so now the birth certificate has claimed you to be dead, and then you have 7 years to come back and claim to say, hey, I'm not dead. But no one does that. By the age of 18, you don't even know any of this. So now essentially your conscience, without whether you know it or not, is being run by the government. Government, which is essentially to direct your mind. They're directing your mind in everything that you do. So now it's up to you to say, hey, well, look, I'm going to reclaim my vessel. I have not abandoned ship. Okay, I'm still conscious. My conscience is here. The crown is not going to be my conscience. I have my own crown to fall under it. And no one else has the right to come and interfere with that. And any man or woman that tries, well, they're going to have problems, because I will fucking stand up for my rights and my freedoms and my conscience. And if you're going to turn to violence, well, then, hey, you're the one they're the ones pushing the violence on you, right? But if you can defend yourself with your words, your body language, things like that, understanding who you are, that's how you're going to fight these people and be able to stand your ground and change things and free your brothers and sisters. Because if your conscience isn't free, folks, the rest of you isn't free. And that's the problem. Here in Canada, most people, if not all, okay, and like, hey, guys, I'm not putting myself outside of this, man. I'm with you. I'm part of all of this, right? I don't like to say, oh, them versus, no, we are all, we're living a life of unconscious behavior. We're not really conscious. We're buying products we know are not good for us, man. When you say that we go to groceries now and we're buying food that is poisonous and we're okay with it, that no one's saying anything, there's a problem, okay? We're not exercising good conscience. There is no decent mainstream personality. No, you're right. Like, it seems like, I mean, some of them, I'm sure, like, you know, they're trying to do the right thing, but just the fact that they've been part of it for so long and now all of a sudden they're coming out, you know, I have a problem with that. You've been in Hollywood for 20 years, 30 some years. You knew about all this shit, but you never spoke out. Hey, fuck, man. If I was to go to Hollywood and I would have witnessed, you know, chomos and rapists and ritual, you know what? I wouldn't have fucking cared. I would have been, hey, man, Hollywood's fucked, and I would have spoke. I would have used my platform, and I don't care, because the more they ostracize you, the more you get famous. It seems, and that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Oh, I didn't want to, you know, have Hollywood blacklist me. It's like, yeah, let them blacklist you, because that's going to bring more attention to you. Just as long as they're talking about you, it's a good thing. That you're out there and it's like, hey, wow, why is he being blacklisted? Oh, because he's talking against, oh, he's saying there's this and going on. Well, why would they blacklist it if it wasn't true? Right? So, like, it's all these things I really don't buy, folks. Is that a lot of these people, if you know something and you're like for 20 some years and you don't say nothing, and then you come out all of a sudden now, because now the boat's about to sink, I'm going to question it. I'm going to question you. Sorry. Switzerland, home of the devil. Yeah, it's essentially, you know, it is, man. Sean Ross has been doing this for years, and I feel frustrated for Sean Ross, because that guy, man, has been out there for years, exposing this, and like, the fact that he's not getting more help than that. If I had resources, I had millions of dollars, that guy, I would fly him from where he's at. I'd bring him here to Canada. I'd set him up. I'd be like, dude, we're gonna fucking just do a team of research. And you and your family, you're gonna live comfortably here. Anything you need, whatever you want, you got it. Okay, but see, that's the thing. It's like, there should be a lot of millionaires out there that's seen his work. No, he even had Roseanne Barr, freaking have him. And then I don't know what's going on. I know Sean is not like the guy. You know, you gotta understand, he's gone through suffering, man. Like, they did oxygen deprivation, so like, you know, he's not his cognitive skills are not as sharp as they used to be. So he's not the easiest guy to talk with or have interviews with and stuff like that, because like he's gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot of trauma. So people need to understand that. And that's why I don't, you know, like, get upset with him or whatever, because like I've tried to get him for interviews. I tried to really help him out, and I don't get as much response like I'd like to. And I understand, because he's like on the road and stuff like that. So I'm not upset with him about it. I'm just saying that I tried really hard to help him out, to get as much exposure for him. I wanted to get live streams, things like that. I even called CSIS, to let people know about his work. And I haven't given up. I'm just saying, like I've tried many times. I try. I still try to this day, and I understand where he's coming from. So if ever you try to reach out to him and you see you're not getting much, just understand. Like the guy, he's been tortured. He's been gone through a lot of bullshit. He's got his wife and his kids that he's worried about, things like that. So like his human attention is not 100% as much as the guy is fucking intelligent. The guy, like when you look at the work he's done, uh, he's done a lot of great work with very little that he has, and I take my hat off to him. I have a lot of love and respect for Sean, and I really hope that people share his work as much as, because every time I talk with people, I talk to everybody I speak with on the street, doesn't matter. I'll always fall on the topic of Switzerland. I fall on the topic of Janice. I talk about law, things like that. I try to plant seeds everywhere as I go, because I care and I love people, and when I see people on the street, even when I go to buy a shawarma, or when I go to my phone, when I talk with people, anyone that serves me, I show them love and respect, and then I share this knowledge with them, because I see how powerful it is, how it's empowered me, how it's empowered some of my brothers and sisters, and I see it's important because they put the fucking work and effort, they put their lives on the line here, folks. They and the least you can do is at least share the knowledge. At least that's the least you can do in life, is just share their knowledge and show them love and respect by doing so. Only see the taking care of your family as a greater cause is important, but in the end of the day, you need to provide for your dear ones and friends. You're absolutely right, Maria. I agree with you. And that's where it starts. That's what I mean, is that you got to start with yourself. You got to take care of who you are, know who you are. And then by doing so, you're going to inspire people. Like it or not, people are going to be inspired. They say, holy shit, look, like this person's been talking this stuff for years, but now look at their life. Like they're actually like, okay, they're not just talking it, they're living it. They're actually the embodiment of what they're sharing. So now you're going to inspire them. That's how you do it. And then when you see that you and your family are doing well and that you're actually on top of shit, then they're going to follow suit. And maybe not, but there's more chances compared to you trying to force it down their throats. Oh, but yeah, it doesn't work. A lot of it, when people are not ready, they're not there, they're not there. And all you can do is just have patience and still love them unconditionally and understand where they're coming from. And that's the warrior's path. That's essentially what we have to be. You have to be, you can't put yourself first. You got to put yourself last. And the reason why is so you could pick up your friends and your family along the way that have fallen along the path. When you put yourself first, you don't see what's behind you. But when you put yourself last, you can see what's ahead of you and all your friends and your family and the people that you're caring about, especially when you've become fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know most people in the chat here, I think most of you have done the work. You've listened to these people and you're applying it to yourself, and you're becoming more confident with who you are as the days progress. And that's what's important. That's the work. That's the one great work you got to do. I'm telling you guys, listen to Mark Passio. I know the guy could be fucking, confrontational, and he's got this side to him sometimes. It's like, you just understand that the guy's frustrated and he's trying to really get people to fucking light the fire under their asses and get fucking moving. Because right now the world is burning. Okay, and no one's reaching for any kind of extinguisher or hose or anything. They're just kind of like, what? Oh yeah, but they don't know who they are. And I see it a lot. I see downtown Ottawa. I see the truckers convoy. I see a lot of fucking confusion more than anything. There's no organization really. And when it all fell apart, well, look where we're at. Like, look at the Couch 4. If you look up what's happening, like, look, Rebel News, I like them for some reporting, and other things I don't like them. Okay, like I find they're biased when it comes to certain subjects. But look up what's happening in Alberta with the Couch 4. Like, it's horrible. It's human rights violations that the Crown and our government are essentially torturing these people, not feeding them right. They haven't even touched grass in 800 days. To actually touch grass, to be out in nature in 800 freaking days. You know how bad that is for your human attention, your conscience, and how it breaks people down? And that's what they're doing. That's their part of their tactic, is to try to break this guy down. So eventually they plead, and so the Crown can have their victory. But this whole thing is all based on the lie. I don't know if it's a lie or not, but it's based on the claim of the word of one undercover RCMP officer saying that, they were planning to kill RCMP officers. Because someone said these people now are going through 800 days of just torture. This is Canada, folks. And, if you hear this, the Crown, whoever you are, okay, all the Crown attorneys here in Canada, the Britain, all of you that are under the Crown, okay, when you're going after people like that, I'm telling you, I'm fucking telling you right now, okay, there will be consequences and repercussions once you cross that threshold. I'm telling you, you will fucking die one day, and you're gonna have to answer for that shit. Okay, and I'm trying to be a brother to you. I'm not saying this to you guys to, you know, as much as you piss me off, and inside of me that my demons rattling the cage. Okay, I still have the side of me that's showing love and appreciation and kindness towards you, and telling you, hey man, quit while you're ahead, because I'm telling you, you're gonna end up in a bad fucking place, and it's gonna be only yourself to blame. You're gonna cry and beg, and it's all gonna be to yourself, because you're gonna be reconnected with your true self, and you're gonna see how nasty you've become, and how you say, "Holy fuck, how could I have allowed my conscience to allow me to become such a monster, to think that it's okay to go and cause harm and injury when I signed up to actually protect people from that?" You're gonna ask yourself that question. You're gonna be in a bad place for a long fucking time. It's gonna be a hard, long fucking ride before you get out of that fucking hole. I'm telling you. But you can avoid all that, because see, you still got time. You're still alive. You're still breathing right now, and you still have the opportunity to do the right thing and say, you know what, I'm gonna withdraw, or I'm not gonna continue coming after these people because it's wrong. Okay. I don't care if you gotta. No one's gonna want to fucking hear it. That, oh well, I was just doing my job. The same thing with the cops and the military. You know, when you go drop bombs and you go and arrest people for cannabis or magic mushrooms and things like that, and you cause harm and ruin people's lives and families, you're gonna have to answer. It's just how it is, folks. You're gonna suffer. All that suffering you've incurred is gonna come back to you with interest. I'm telling you, it's a fact. It's not my opinion. Okay, it's just facts. When you start diving into your conscience and understand who you truly are and all that stuff, and understand that you are from the Almighty Creator, that you are a fraction of it, that you are created in God or the Almighty Creator's image, and then you go and pervert all that beautiful gift that was given to you. I know if I was daddy, I'd be very upset with you. And that's conscience. That's essentially having a moral compass and principles, folks. Yeah, last first last, but be careful that being last isn't egotistical. That's hard. Yeah, well, it is. You're right. It's challenging. It's not easy. Lots of people not only reaching for extinguishers, but putting out big fires. If you don't see it, you got to look around more. Well, I do see, like, there are people like, Mark Passio. There's trying to, like, I mean, it's just, I find just the average man or woman are not doing much effort, and I understand where it's coming from. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate on people or anything like that. It's just, I see that people are really not prioritizing things, and they don't realize that whatever they're holding on to, that it's stopping them from acting and doing the right thing. Well, those things they're holding on to are not going to be there very soon. They're not going to be there anymore. And when that goes, what are you going to be left with? Right? And that's the thing. It's like all these material things and all these things, like, people need to really downsize. I'm telling you, like, these things of getting into debt, credit cards, getting a mortgage, getting a big house, living beyond your means is how they enslave you, folks. That's how it is. That's how they enslave us all, is by living beyond our means. And now we're left owing. We're under contract now to pay something back with interest, which essentially affects our human attention, stresses us, takes away from who we truly are, and makes us make bad decisions. And that's how they get us into contracts. When you go get a cell phone, anything you do nowadays, there's contracts. Always contracts are tied, and then people are just signing up without realizing what they're getting involved with, that they're enslaving themselves. And willingly, and it's sad, because you know what? You don't have to go through all these kinds of things, folks. This whole thing of corporate and contracts and things like that, it is made complicated so they can enslave us even more. That's all it is. Stop. You don't need to fucking get into these contracts and terms and conditions and stuff like that. Look, man, cell phones, communication should be a human right, that every man, woman, and child should be able to have access to this technology. All the technologies that are created in this world to advance humanity should be made to be available for all men and women, and then also be shown how to appreciate those things, to not just take it for granted, to appreciate them and say, hey, I got this. We have communication. We got that. We got to appreciate this. We can't just be abusive towards these kinds of things, because you know what? There was a time we didn't have these things, and now things are a lot easier for us. And that's the reason why we have technologies to free up time, human attention, things like that, so we can focus on other things, greater things. That's why we have technology, not to fucking take away from it, not to bring down our human attention or consciousness. And that's what's happening. Look at people on their phones nowadays. They're not even conscious. It's like almost like their conscience is in the phone now. Is that they're essentially become cybernetic fucking organisms. They're cyborgs now. And now their conscience is Google and Facebook and Twitter and all these fucking things. And then they think their identity is, oh, well, how many likes I got on Facebook and my videos, how many views and likes and blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck, that's like, what the heck, man? That's not even important. What's important is, having good relationships with your friends and your family, being out there, being present, not being in the past or the future, but being present and then enjoying the moments, and then having communities work together, have barbecues, have the conversation, bring people together, get to know your neighbor. Go, and when a new neighbor comes in, you go say, hey, hi, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Charles. Good to see you. I welcome you and your family. If there's anything you need, hey, come anytime. I have barbecues every Sunday. If you're more than welcome. You just bring your own food, whatever. Like things like that. That's what we need. We need communities, folks. But right now, because of freaking social media and these technologies, we're not responsible enough to understand what they're there for. We think they're there to be entertainment and, but that's not what that's there. Those things are there to help us move along in life and free up time and our human consciousness, our human attention to be able to focus on greater things. That's what that's there, but we don't understand that. Glad to meet you, Jester Man. Respect from Sewell. Thank you, Maria. Glad to meet you. Thank you for showing up. Yes, Robert from Rebel News is covering the couch. Yes, and Robert, I've met Robert. Robert's a super nice guy. I appreciate the way he reports and things, and that's why I like, when it comes to Rebel News, I am critical of them, but I don't hate them. I don't think they're controlled opposition as much as Ezra likes to push the Zionist movement and with Israel and stuff like that, and act like Israel does no wrong. He's wrong about that. It's like, look, man, if you're going to criticize the Canadian government but not criticize the Israeli government, then you have a bias at this point, because Canada and Israel are pretty much the same. They've become fanatical. The people in government are fanatical. In Israel, Canada, the U.S., doesn't matter. That's the problem. If you're not reporting on that and saying how the governments are fanatical and they're a problem, then you have a bias, right? So, when it comes to the Israeli and the Palestinian conflict, my heart goes out to the Palestinians and the Israeli people, because I see that their government is enslaving them, causing them harm. They're, it's not just, when you start taking sides on these wars, that's where they got you. Don't take a side on the war. You take side of humanity and say, hey, I don't want any war. I don't think it's justifiable for one side to attack or whatever. I find that what they should do is be able to talk it over and see what the source of the problem is. Just like Ukraine and Russia. I don't take sides. I'm not rooting for Russia. I'm not rooting for Ukraine. I'm rooting for the people of Russia and Ukraine to essentially rise up against their government and say, hey, we don't want this fucking war anymore. Stop. Okay, this is bullshit. This is nonsense. This is all done by the aristocrats, the people that essentially claim to rule and reign over us, that claim ownership over us, essentially the ones that live in the castles, the ones that are behind the banking. All those people, they're the fucking culprits. The Switzerland, the WHO, the UN, all these people that are, behind all these things, they're the problem. The crown, the triple crown. Like, these people need to be held to accountable, and in their surroundings as well. The people protecting them. More importantly, here in Canada, I'm telling you, all the people, the RCMP officers protecting Trudeau and Freeland and all of them, you're a part of the problem. You're just actually more guilty. Okay. It's just like, I'm watching Hitler's documentary on Netflix, okay? And I know it's biased. There's a lot of bullshit in there, okay? But when you see the history of what happened and how he came to be, well, it wouldn't have happened if he didn't have those weak idiots around him to fucking essentially encourage and protect him, okay? It wasn't just one. And the way they make it sound like he's just one guy and he was able to talk so well that's how he was able to, come on, folks. No one's that fucking powerful, man. Okay, no one. The only reason they become powerful is when people around them empower them with their human attention and they act like they can do no wrong and they protect them. That's how they become powerful. But on their own, they it's like, look at me. Like, I'm only as powerful as I am. I'm alone, whatever. But if I start having a great following where a lot of people are coming around and then, understanding what I'm sharing and stuff, then I'm going to have influence. I'm going to be able to make things happen and whatever, right? But with my approach is now, I don't want to be the leader. I'm gonna want to have everyone to be their own leader, and that's the difference. When you see a leader out there trying to be, like Trump and whatever, and he wants to be, oh well, I'm the one that put that in, and yeah, what wasn't for me. No, dude, it's you and your administration. You have a team of people. Why don't you give credit to all the people around you? No, you're taking all the credit. See, that's a problem. And that's the fucking problem in the world. We have too much of that shit. We need to start fucking having leaders that understand that they humble themselves. They don't want to be first. They put themselves last. And just like Gaddafi. If you ever look up the history of Gaddafi, you see a lot of stuff about what he did was amazing. Okay, I'm not agreeing with a lot of the stuff he's doing. I'm not, when you're a leader, unfortunately, folks, when you lead a country, you tend to have to do bad things, it seems, that's just how it is, like you're going to have to do bad things to get where you want to be because that's the world. It's corrupt. It's fucked. But it's just, you got to fucking see people for who they are, folks. Like, Trump is not a good guy. Even Poilievre here in Canada, people think, Poilievre's got to, that's what they do, folks. They polarize us. See, they go from one extreme. They blah, 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 make us go through all this hell. Look, we had the Conservatives before Trudeau. We had Harper. Went to bullshit. All this not, and then all of a sudden Trudeau comes along. I fucking saw it. I said, Trudeau's gonna be worse. I said, fuck you. He's a Trojan horse. Trust me. He's gonna be, and boom, here we are. And now see, they polarize us again. And now Poilievre's gonna come in, and it's gonna be the same bullshit. It's gonna go to the opposite. It's just they're pushing us from the right side of our brain to the left, bouncing back and forth. No intelligence, either from intellect to fucking intuition. That's what they do. They polarize us. Just when you're getting pulled over by the police, they got their cherries on, the red and blue. Why? Is to pull you back and forth from your left to right, where you're not centered, you're not balanced, you're not exercising intelligence. Same thing as the police constable. He's not exercising intelligence. It's all manipulation. So we need to learn this shit. So yeah, just so I know, someone asked if I'm in Ottawa. Yes, I am. I live in Ottawa. I'm in the Sandy Hill area. So if ever people want to connect with me here in Ottawa, I welcome it. I'm looking for warriors. Oh, what's going on here? Why am I having problems? Why? Okay. Trying to scroll up here, but I can't. Okay. Well, anyways, guys, I'm going to have to let you go. End the stream right here. But yeah, essentially those are the points. Is just talking about, what it means to be Canadian, understanding the system of law, what that means. And also look up Mark Passio. Mark Passio, I'm telling you, just look up a lot of his stuff. He's got his seminar on natural law is very important, very interesting stuff. The one about order followers. There's so much stuff he's got out there. It's super interesting. And if you can help support him, get involved with what he's trying. I want to, but I don't have the cash to be able to donate to him. I wish I could, but eventually I will. But I've been trying to reach out to him to help him out, but I can see that he's kind of discouraged lately, and it would be sad to lose him as a warrior for the good cause, because he's done quite a bit. And let's say we do, well, then it's up to us to pay it forward, folks. Is like to continue his legacy, whatever he's put out there. He's done a lot of great work, put it all together, make it very easy for people to understand. And so it's up to us to honor him and continue his work and push it forward. All right. And then the other thing is I want to talk about is also the auditing community in Canada, the United States. If you're going to go out there and audit, I'm telling you, if let's say you get arrested and you have to get a lawyer, you're not helping anything. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, just learn the law. If you're going to go out there, you got to learn how to stand for yourself and not represent yourself, but speak your truth. And when you go in front of the judge, if ever there's bogus charges against you, that you know how to defend yourself with your words, and then just express, hey man, I'm simply filming in public. In order for you to say that it's criminal harassment, you need to be able to prove mens rea, okay, criminal intent, which you can't prove. Okay, it's like if I'm filming, there's nothing criminal about me filming whatever I can see in my purview of vision. Okay, you can't criminalize it. Even let's say I'm filming children in the park. Okay, you don't know my intentions. You don't know. Okay, hey, it could be that there's some fucking pedophile, but you don't know. You fucking don't know. Okay, and that's the thing is that if you're gonna go make assumptions, you need evidence. And see, that's why you can't go around and start accusing someone of something when you have no evidence. You just make an assumption. That's against the law. Okay, that's actually, you can't do that. And then that's what they're doing, though. They're trying to assume and presume, and then they think their assumptions and presumptions is gold. It's cash. That it's what it is, but it's not. And the other thing I want to share about the auditing community is, see, like right now, I don't like to have problems with people, okay? But right now I see Rick from True North Transparency. I'm really not digging his style, what he's doing, and I am critical of his work. And there was a controversy between us, and I thought it would have been over, but he still talks about it. It seems, and he's trying to disparage me. And you see a lot of people like getting things out of context, calling me a bootlicker and whatever, but they didn't see the whole video to see that. If you can see, well, I'm not a bootlicker. There's one guy that doesn't really lick the boot of tyranny is me. But there's nothing wrong with being respectful and kind and loving, even though when these people are being fuckers. Okay, and that's the thing I'm trying to get across here, folks, is that you got to be kind. Doesn't matter how rude and how unprofessional these constables are, how the Starbucks employee comes at you, starts making demands, whatever. You've got to maintain the love, respect, and honor all the time. Don't give them anything to use against you, because now when you do end up having to go to court, which I'm telling you, Rick, you're going to end up going to court soon. If you keep doing what this all you're doing, it's going to happen. And I don't want it to happen, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And you're going to have to get a lawyer. And I know you don't know the law that well. You don't even want to listen to what I have to share. You want to go and talk about that I'm on mushrooms and that I'm crazy. Well, you want to dismiss me like that? See, when you call someone crazy, that's dismissive. That's that's childish what you're doing. It's the same thing that what the constables do and the Crown attorneys do. They try to dismiss people. It's credibility by calling them crazy or insane, or that they have mental health issues, which is not the case. That's not right. You don't get to do that, bud. And I'm telling you, if I see you on the street, I will tell you how I feel. I will talk to you straight up, man to man, and we will have a conversation, and I will try to bridge that gap. But if you want to continue being this child in the schoolyard, I'm telling you, you're going to lose followers. The only followers that you're getting right now are people that like controversy, I find. I know that you got some good people in there, don't get me wrong, but I've noticed that there's a lot of nasty people in the chat talking, insulting people. It's like almost like they like to see people bully each other, which that's got to stop, folks. I'm telling you, man, that kind of shit, it's got to stop. Like, I don't think that's right. You see that from the left versus right. They always insult each other, always trying to come down. It's like, and that's why we have the problems we have in the world, because people have no understanding of what self-respect is all about. Okay, self-respect means that you don't allow other people bring you down to their level. That's how you have self-respect, is that you maintain the integrity within you, and to maintain and stay a human, be a brother, be a sister, no matter how nasty people get to you, until they get violent and start spitting in your face. Then you can but at the same time, don't let the emotions take over and get enraged and whatever, because then it's going to bring you to a place where you don't want to go. Okay? And that's what law is all about, folks, is about being responsible with your emotions, having emotional intelligence and understanding these things, that we're all human and that we all have our struggles and challenges, and to understand. And then when someone is acting out of turn, acting wrong and being immoral, to reach out like a brother, to not go and give, oh, well, now this guy's being, now I'll have an opportunity to be nasty and disrespectful, and I'm going to be, no, you're not getting it. Okay. So anyways, I wish you all nothing but the best. I love you all. Hopefully that, the community starts realizing that the law is expressed symbolically, and understanding that it's a slave system, that there is no remedy within the courts here in Canada and the US, because you're not going into a court of we the people. You're going into the Holy Roman Empire. You're going into a church, which they got their own rules and edicts, and they're going to push it upon you. And when you try to, stand for who you are, they're going to try everything in the book to try to, get you to stand outside of who you are. But when you know who you are and you're able to know and you're confident, they can't. They won't be able to. You just stand it, and hey, be ready. You're going to maybe have to go to jail and go in prison and have to go through it. You're going to that's what a warrior is. What do you think? You think the people in the past that caused revolutions and things didn't go to jail, weren't in prison, weren't tortured, weren't, they all went through shit. So if you want to be a warrior and go out there, and well, you have to accept the fact that may happen to you. And if you can't accept it, when it comes, the cookie crumbles that way, just like when you look at Chile from Delete Laws, which I respect, and I love this guy, and I wish him all the best. And I find what happened to him sucks and it's bullshit. But see what happened to him. look what happened. Like it's not fun to watch, folks, and see what it did. It kind of really fucked the auditing community a bit, because now they're saying, oh well, look, now he went to jail. He's not so fucking cool now and whatever. But if he would have stood on his own 2 feet and defended himself and kept the love, honor, and respect, Zimmerman, the judge wouldn't have had anything to use against him. See how they used the fact that he called the other pig and he's being the way he was as a reason as to why they were allowed to put him in jail, because they didn't really go on the facts of what happened. They just went on his behavior, which they weren't supposed to. But see, because he didn't protect himself, he was not in love, respect, and honor at all times. They had something against him. He gave them all what they needed for them to essentially throw the book at him. And that's what I'm saying, folks, is if he would have just stood there honorably, respectfully, and loving, not call, even the guy was being an asshole, that cop, that bailiff was being a prick, he should have just maintained and just say, or just ask him, why do you take my phone like that? Why are you being disrespectful like that? Ask a question. Don't make claims. Don't call them names. Just ask questions. Why are you being like that? Well, what's your purpose? Why are you being aggressive like that? Is there a reason for you to do you have a prejudice against me? Right? Things like that. When you do that, then it shows that you're calm and cool and collected, and then they can't use anything against you. And I know it's hard, folks. Guys, I'm one of those guys. I'm intense, man. I used to be one of those guys. If after a certain point, I had no patience. Like, I was very cool with people, whatever. But after a while, now all of a sudden the demon was coming out, and that's it. And then now people don't. When they come after the fact, they don't see what happened before. They don't see that that the other guy was being a fucker or whatever, and that's why you're doing now. But people just see you're out of control. You're the one with the high-pitched voice and talking and blah, 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 and now you're the problem. Okay? So that's why it's important to maintain the love, respect, and honor. It's your sword, shield, and armor. Okay? So, yeah, that's what I want to say. I know I talk a lot. It's an hour and 36 minutes. Okay, well, thank you, guys. I appreciate you coming in. I really appreciate the support and people coming in and listening to what I have to say. It warms my heart, and I know that I'm not alone. Prairie, hey Prairie, you blocked him, eh? Was that right, eh? Well, I think he's gonna lose a lot of people if True North Transparency keeps doing the way he does it there, because it's just not the way to go, and he really doesn't understand rights and freedoms. He keeps referring to civil rights, which again he shows that he doesn't understand. He doesn't know the law. He doesn't understand what's going on. And he's just doing it, he says it's his job or whatever. It's like, dude, I don't know if you're getting paid or if you monetize your channel. I don't think anyone should monetize don't monetize your channel if you're going to be auditing. Just telling you, don't monetize, because that's how they can control you. So I can say whatever I want, share. I can have music in the background if I'm auditing, whatever. They can't mess with me because I'm not monetizing. I'm not commerce and trade. Okay, so it's just money as a private individual expressing myself. And that's the thing about YouTube, with all their censoring, they can't do that. All the censoring that you see, they're actually under obligation and duty to the international covenant, just like Canada is, just like any corporation has to fall in line with the UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, especially when you've been publicly funded. Okay, so YouTube, Facebook, all these companies, they took taxpayer money in order for them to found their things. Therefore they have an obligation to the public. And also, because they're offering a platform, a social platform for people to be able to express themselves, they have to respect human rights and freedoms. That, hey, whatever they say, well, you can't censor them unless they're calling to threaten and kill people and whatever like that. Okay, I could understand. But at the same time, you want people to be able to be out there and express themselves and see who those people are. You don't want them to be alone in their basement in their own thoughts and then eventually come out and then start hurting people. Okay, because that's the whole reason why you want free speech. You want people to be able to have that freedom of conscience and freedom of expression, so they don't ball it all up inside and keep to themselves and not be able to share their ideas with other people, bouncing it off other people to tell them, hey, no, the way you're thinking, bro, it's not good. If you're alone and not having a platform to be able to have people tell, give you feedback to say, yeah, dude, your way of thinking is not right, bro. And look, man, we're here for you. We're going to help you out. That's what it's there for. But if you keep censoring people, I'm telling you, you want to see terrorism, you want to see violence continue and have problems. The more censoring is going to happen, folks, the more we're going to have violence, the more there's going to be problems in our society. Because when you take away people's ability to be able to express themselves, you're going to see people get frustrated and they have no outlets. They're going to go crazy. I'm just saying, and like, I'm telling you, if I didn't have this YouTube platform to be able to talk and express and then try to reach out to people, I think I'd probably be one of those people. I don't know. Who knows? I really like to think no, because I think I'm pretty intelligent and I think I have pretty good emotional intelligence. But who knows, right? When you get to a point, you get frustrated. You get, you feel like no one's listening and things like that. Then you're like, well, you're not going to hear my voice, but I guess you're going to hear my gunshots. I guess you're going to hear me smashing windows. I guess you're going to hear me when I crack someone's head open. Like, what I'm saying, folks, is just people don't censor people. Don't try to shut down their platforms, like True North Transparency. Like the way he's talking about me, like people asking, oh, who is this guy? Where's his channel? He's just a failed YouTuber. He doesn't want to tell like people. It's like, what kind of attitude is that, bro? Like, why not share it? And then not even sharing the context of what happened that day. He's just going, and then people making up assumptions, and he's like loving with their comments, but they don't even know the context of what the controversy was all about. It's just wild. Making assumptions or whatever, and then going as far as insulting people about their character and the way they look, because I have long hair and things like that, insulting me because what? Because what? You feel like I was interjecting on his audit? You don't even know what I was going to say. I could have been say, excuse me, do you still sell those pumpkin spice lattes? That's all I could have been wanting to ask her, and he's thinking I'm trying to interject on their fucking audit, and then he's being rude to me and then condescending. I'm trying to talk to him like reasonably, like and he talks over me with a tone, and then he's telling me "fuck you," get out of my face. What the fuck is that, man? Like I that kind of attitude, that's schoolyard behavior, man. It's like the guy's still in the schoolyard, and it's like that kind of behavior is going to hurt the cause. That's what he's doing. And right now, like the way he's filming people too, it's like, dude, like, yeah, you have the right to film people in public, but to go and stand there and then just like single them out and then stand there with your camera and look at him like you're and then you could see that he's actually looking for a fucking negative reaction to create a controversy, which, like, man, it's okay. You do it all. I don't want you to go to jail for that, but at the same time, like, what are you doing? It's like, just go film. You're out in public. If you're filming them, you're filming. Yeah, I just thought you look good. It was a nice shot. I just thought I'd get a nice shot of you. That's it. That just diffuse the situation. Make them understand. Oh, you're just a public photographer, and that's it. Like, there's nothing wrong with just talking. No, let's create a fucking controversy. You get the police to come, and then the cops come and they violate your rights, but then you do nothing about it after. You're not even holding them accountable. You're not even following up, calling up professional standards. Putting them on notice, saying, "Hey, man, your guys are in breach and dishonor. They're exceeding their jurisdiction." Like, learning these fucking terminologies to be able to hold these people accountable, letting them know that, hey, man, you're not qualified. You don't even know what your symbols fucking represent. You don't even know what you stand for. Therefore, you fall for everything. So, like, these things need to be done, folks. Like, if you're gonna audit, like James Freeman, what he does is awesome. He's out there. He's fucking calling them, putting pressure, and then also getting his viewers to call in and put pressure on the police department, emailing them. That's how you're going to get to these people, is by putting pressure and getting people involved and saying, hey, man, we care about what's going on in our community. And we don't want to have people in uniform claiming to go out there to serve and protect us, but in fact are doing the total opposite. We're not going to accept that. We will fucking hold you to accountable, and we will get the numbers, and we will come and arrest you guys if you're not going to do it yourself, because we all have that power. We are the law. You, me, everyone is the law. Just because you're a police constable doesn't mean that you have more authority than anybody else. Actually, you actually have less, okay? Because your authority derives from we the people. That's where it's supposed to come from, is we the people. Good conscience with principles and morals. That's where the authority comes from, okay? And we all have that. When you embody that and you go out there and you have the evidence of fact to back what you're saying, that they're causing harm or injury, that's the authority. But see, they don't understand that. They think a piece of paper and their badge and all that stuff gives them authority, which they're lost. They're fucking lost. So, yeah, I'm just going to read some more comments. I really appreciate you guys coming in today. I like to share what I got. And pumpkin special latte. Yes, pumpkin spice. Come on now. Once in a while, it's nice. I've been famous personalities on many platforms, not exceedingly, but each got censored over the years. Is that right, eh? Well, I know they're censoring people, man. It's crazy, man. To me, that's when you try to censor someone else, it just like shows that you're afraid of what they have to say. It's like if If what they're saying is nonsense, then let them share it, and then people will see for themselves. Why do you need to fucking be the parent and say, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you from all this misinformation"? It's like, look, man, like just let it all out there, and then people will fucking make up their own minds of what's true and not. Don't, but that's just to show you how governments, these people in government, that's what they claim. They're claiming ownership over your conscience. Simple as that. When they try to censor people, that's what they're saying to you. They're saying to all of us, hey, you don't get to exercise your conscience the way you want. We dictate how you're going to exercise conscience in life and in the fiction of the internet. Okay? And that's wrong, folks. These people, anybody that tries to censor you at this point should be treated as a criminal. Because remember my saying is my voice is my right, is my life. Anytime someone tries to attempt to silence me, it's an attempt on my life. And I should treat it as seriously as an attempt on my life. And I will defend myself to the death because that's my life. Okay? And that's how it should be, folks. And in our laws and things, that should be expressed. Boom. Well, anyone that tries to stop you from being able to express yourself through any kind of platform or talking whatever, or try to use violence to threaten you to stop you from speaking your truth, that should be looked at as criminal and as an attempt on your life. Okay? That's how serious it is, folks. And it's true. Just play with it inside of yourself. You'll see it's true. How frustrated do you become when someone does not allow you to speak? They speak over you, and then they start insulting you, and they start trying to control the conversation and stop you from being able to express what you need to express. How frustrated do you become inside? Do you not feel that you're being violated? That maybe it's not physical, but in some way you feel anger and resentment inside yourself towards that man or woman trying to stop you. Why do you think you feel that way? It's a natural feeling. Just like when you see, a puppy being abused, how you feel violence and anger inside of you towards that man or woman that's abusing a little puppy. Well, it's a natural reaction that you have. It's telling you that you're a human, that your conscience says, hey, this is not right. This goes against principles. This goes against morals and the laws. That's why. So, anyways, I got to go, folks. I got to get going here. But focus, I don't think it needed explaining since you wrote it. I think Epic is going to start up again. Epic, Ottawa, you're talking about Ottawa Epic? Yeah, I can never say it properly there, but yeah, I hope so. I tried to reach out to him. He seemed to be on board with what I was sharing, but like I said, a lot of people, the things that I share with them, when you're just new to this kind of material, I know the stuff that I share could be overwhelming. I could understand, because when I got into it myself, I was like, oh my God, I got lots to learn here, man. Jesus taught me that in person, but since I've learned the only effective way to lead is by absolutely, it's just lead by example. I think I could need a PSL. PSL, was that, Maria? Most just don't know, understand. Exactly. The temple of God is within you. What you have on your side is a temple. Jesus, when you translate it to French, je suis, and what Jesus would say, I am that I am. Je suis in French, which means I am. Je suis. Or je suis means I follow. So it's all code. It's like, when you look at everything that's expressed through the Bible and things like that, it's all a way of like expressing natural universal law in a beautiful way. That's all it is. But people have perverted it. Even my mom insulting me. Is that right, eh? I'm sorry that that happens. It sucks when the family goes at each other, right? So principles, rules. Well, principles and rules, like the principle is just like what comes first, right? Like it's like, like you have to set things first. Like if you're going to build a house, well, there's a principle that you have to build a good foundation, a strong foundation. If you don't, then the rest of the fucking house is going to collapse on itself, right? So exactly, you need to have, things to have principles to prioritize and say, okay, well, this comes first, and anything that goes against these principles, what that means is going to essentially shake the whole foundation. So those principles need to be, reinforced and protected at all times, right? And then by doing so, you make sure that you stay consistent, right? So, Maria, there's a passage in the Bible about family being a big problem for prophets. Yeah, that's for sure. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the love and support. Like I said, I'm right now, I'm actually helping some people out with some stuff. So for the next 2 weeks, I wanted to be able to go out there and be boots on the ground more, but I got to help other people with some other things. And but I want to be out there. And like I said, if there's people here in Ottawa that can help me out, I'm more important. What I'm looking for is someone to help me with the editing, video editing, because I know my videos, like I want to keep them raw. I don't want to have like all sorts of like thumbnails and things like that, because it's like, yeah, I know it's to get people's attention, and but I don't want to treat people like children. I really don't want to be doing that kind of shit. And I feel like when I fucking have to go and do editing like that, where to do all these thumbnails to get people's attention, it's like I feel like I'm treating people like a child. And that's why I really try to just do raw footage like this, because now people know I'm real, I'm straight up, that I come from the heart, that I'm no bullshit kind of guy. Okay, like seriously. And if there's something I'm doing wrong, please guys, like tell me. Like I'm not one of those guys that, hey, like, oh, fuck off, whatever. No, like if you tell me, if you find that I'm doing something, if you're critical of something that I'm doing and you think it's wrong or whatever, express it to me, and I'm definitely going to listen. And there's one thing about me, I want to be proven wrong more than I want to be proven right. Okay, because there's a lot of things that I know I'm right about that I want to be wrong about. I'm still looking for people to prove me wrong, because I really don't. I have a hard time accepting these things sometimes. Like as much as I know they're true, sometimes I'm like, fuck. I hope someone comes along and shows me that I'm wrong about this, because I really don't like feeling this way and knowing that this is what this life is all about right now. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of guy I want to be proven wrong more than proven right. I know I used to be the opposite before. It was like, my family, we grew up like very competitive. So it was all very, someone would come along and start challenging your ideas and whatever. It's like fucking war would start, But like I've learned for a lot of years, I've been, like a monk, and I say, hey man, like don't hold on to ideologies. Don't hold on to, like being Canadian or being Christian, things like that. Like first and foremost, I'm a human being. I'm a soul. I'm a spirit. I'm just, walking the realm, and I'm here to learn, and I need to humble myself. And if someone comes along with information that challenges my ideas and my principles, don't get upset. Don't get insulted. Just humble yourself and consider what they're sharing. Play with it, and then later you can say, you know what, I appreciate you coming, but you were wrong about that. Or hey, you know what, I appreciate you telling me about it. I was totally wrong, and you know what, thanks to you now, I've corrected myself, and I'm actually going to be better at this now. And that's how we should be with each other, folks. Like fuck the ego bullshit there of trying to protect illusions needs to stop, and that's why we have problems. That's how they get us to think less of ourselves, is by when we give power to illusions of what we've become, of what we think we are, what product has been sold to us and we've bought with our time, effort, and resources. And then when someone comes along and threatens it, now we feel threatened physically and emotionally and spiritually. That's got to stop. You got to become a warrior and understand that those are all illusions, and that we're not perfect. We're here to learn from each other. And then we're like Brian says from High Impact Flicks, not one of us is greater than all of us, and all of us is not greater than one of us, right? I like that. So anyway, those are people I listen to. Later, guys. I appreciate you again. I wish you all the best. If there's anything you want to get in touch with me, you got my email address, charles.denime@gmail.com. Please do get in touch with me if you want to. I do appreciate the reach outs. All right? One love. Take it easy.